history in my city that I can't put it all in a song. But I'll tell you one thing, we get along. When anything around here going wrong, we had riots in the past, grew from that. All lives matter, that's a fact. But come to my town talking any kind of smack, we're gonna beat you down and send you right back. We winners, man, not beginners, man. We gon' eat every one of you for dinner, man. Get your tickets outside, it's going down tonight. This is our day, just don't quit it, man. This thing to do, we ain't come to lose, we here to win. Pay your dues, otherwise I got bad news. What you came to do? Get them boys the blues, 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 get them boys the blues. What you came to do? This to do, we ain't come to lose, we here to win. Pay your dues, otherwise I got bad news. What you came to do? Get them boys the blues. My city known for rock and roll, good barbecue and soul food. We got rules though, when you come through, don't fool with us. We done told you, we struggle daily, crime rate is crazy, get wrongs, one thing you don't do. My guys are grizzlies and tigers, baby, we animals and we don't lose. We give you the blues when you come to us. Be ready for war, we lacing up. You better bring a whole army with you, cause in Memphis 10, we don't play a bluff. This to do, we ain't come to lose, we here to win. Pay your dues, otherwise I got bad news. What you came to do? Get them boys the blues, 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 get them boys the blues. What you came to do? Get them boys the blues. There's so much history in my city that I can't put it all in a song. But I'll tell you one thing, we get along. When anything around here going wrong, we had riots in the past, grew from that. All lives matter, that's a fact. But come to my town talking any kind of smack, we're gonna beat you down and send you right back. We winners, man, not beginners, man. We gon' eat every one of you for dinner, man. Get your tickets outside, it's going down tonight. This is our day, just don't quit it, man. This thing to do, we ain't come to lose, we here to win. Pay your dues, otherwise I got bad. My guys are grizzlies and tigers, baby, we animals and we don't lose. We give you the blues when you come to us. Be ready for war, we lacing up. You better bring a whole army with you, cause in Memphis 10, we don't play a bluff. This to do, we ain't come to lose, we here to win. Pay your dues, otherwise I got bad news. What you came to do? Get them boys the blues, 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 get them boys the blues. What you came to do? Get them boys the blues. You better bring a whole army with you, cause in Memphis 10, we don't play a bluff. This to do, we ain't come to lose, we here to win. Pay your dues, otherwise I got bad news. What you came to do? Get them boys the blues, 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 get them boys the blues. What you came to do? Get them boys the blues. There's so much history.
Hello, Memphis fans, and welcome to The Point, where all things are talked Memphis sports. I'm Wes Pruitt. I got Nathan Wilson in the house with me this evening. Nathan, it's Tiger football season, man. We are right around the corner from kickoff, where we travel back to Mississippi State, take a little trip down to Stark Vegas, as they call it, and battle the Bulldogs. And Nathan, Memphis is looking to get only their third win at Starkville in the last 32 years. That last win coming on the 1993 season. We're going to talk a little Tiger trivia tonight. We're going to talk a little Tiger offense, and then we'll talk a little bit about what is to come for next week. Nathan, let's start off by, of course, let everybody know, please like, share, subscribe, stay up to date with everything on The Point, because on the 2022 season, Nathan, we've got some special things planned, do we not?
Oh, man, big things coming to The Point, to the 4-Star Media LLC brand. I mean, everything's coming big, guys. Tune in. We got special shows coming up, interviews. I mean, list goes on and on. All the big things coming our way.
Oh, yeah, man. We're going to be literally everywhere. All right, let's go ahead and get to it, Nathan. What we're going to do is we're going to ask 3 trivia questions now. We're not going to answer them until the end of the show. Anyone who's watching or listening, if you know the answers, send your comments in. I won't let you know if you're right or wrong currently, but I will let you know at the end. So, all right, we're going to start off with a little Tiger trivia. First question is, when was the last time the Tigers had 150 yards or more passing in one quarter of play? Once again, that is, when was the last time the Memphis Tigers had 150 yards or more passing in just 1 quarter of play. All right, up next, we've got 3 questions tonight. Up next, when was the last time Memphis had a punt return of 90 or more yards? That one may not be as tough as I thought it might have been. When was the last time the Memphis Tigers had a punt return of 90 or more yards? And the third one, when was the last time Memphis rushed for more than 150 yards or more in a half of play? 3 trivia questions, guys, tonight. We're going to have them answered at the end of the show. Nathan, I'm looking forward to this show, man. I'm also looking forward to something that's going to be starting next week on 4star.live, and that is a new article series titled Tunnel Vision. And it will be basically the saga of the 2022 football season for the Memphis Tigers. It will include quotes from coaches. It will include press conferences from coaches. There'll be things on our 4-star website posted. There'll be things posted here on the point as well that will coincide with the article series. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to putting it together. It will start next week. More info is to come on that. I will let you guys know when the first article will be posted. But Nathan, when you look at this Tiger football season, I titled it Tunnel Vision. Last season, I was at the game. I took a picture through the tunnel. And really, when you come off last season, Nathan, tunnel vision is what this Memphis football team needs to have.
Oh, most definitely. After coming off the season they had, I mean, especially with the whole stir up with the whole Mississippi State game and at the Liberty Bowl, it raised a lot of questions, that play calling, all that stuff. But you look at this Tiger football team, I say last year was a rebuild year for them. A chance for them to get themselves back together, back where they need to be. This season right here coming in with the transfers they have coming into this program, with, you know, the way that Seth Hennigan has improved himself as a quarterback, this is just going to be big, dude. And this defense, I got a lot of faith in this Memphis Tiger defense this year. There's a few things I will say about the defense that I worry, but as far as the DBs and the linebackers, it's solid. I'm worried about the defensive line, but I think that there's a lot of improvement coming that way.
Yeah, and I mean, we can briefly touch on the defense before we get into the offense. I tell you what, man, let's take a quick break. When we come back, let's touch on the defense, Nathan, and then we'll get into the offense, because we've got 2 new faces when it comes to the offensive defense that are going to be on the sidelines of the Tigers. Take a quick break right here on The Point on the 4-Star Sports Radio Network.
Hey fans, did you know that 4-Star Sports Media now has a YouTube channel? You can catch exclusive content covering all things Memphis Tigers and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Shows like The Point, and the only show on social media about the Arkansas Razorbacks that is purely fan-driven, Inside the Hog Pen. Plus other shows like The Hog Trough, The 4-Star Sports Show, and many more coming soon. So check them out today. Go on YouTube.com and search 4-Star Sports Media. back to The Point from the Germantown Village Wine and Liquor Studios on the 4 Star Sports Radio Network.
Nathan Wilson in the house. We are talking Tiger football. My guy, we're almost a week away, Nathan. Let's talk a little bit about a defense that at times, Nathan, gave up games last year. Memphis finished 6-6. When you go back and look at the season as a whole, you've got a UTSA game that you couldn't hold a 21-point lead in. You've got an East Carolina game that you lose in overtime. You've got a Tulsa game that you really shouldn't lose on the road. I was there. That's an odd stadium to play in. The wind literally circles. I mean, I get why they call them the Cyclones. Nathan, I mean, you play an Arkansas State team week 2 and absolutely is in a dogfight with those guys. It was over 100 points scored in that game total. But then you turn around and you beat a top 25 SMU team. It's kind of up and down. The season could have went one way or another, really. But let's talk about a little bit about this defense as a whole. You lose Mike McIntyre, which some Memphis fans would say is not a bad thing. You bring in Matt Barnes from Ohio State. He was their special teams coordinator the majority of the season. Then he became the defensive coordinator towards the end of the season. A lot of skeptics have said, oh, well, go look at Ohio State's defense and tell me why that should excite me. It's not the fact that their defense – it's Ohio State.
Yeah.
You're coming from an established brand in college football where things are ran maybe more business-like.
Yeah.
And you're bringing that experience and tutelage to Memphis. And we've talked to Rodney Owens here on The Point. It sounds like to me, Nathan, this defense is ready to prove in 2022 that they're not who they were in 2021.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I know a lot of criticism has come with this Ohio State, bringing him in. But look who Ohio State is, though. I mean, they're a powerhouse. Their defense, okay, they went against teams, Michigan State, and then you're going to bring him over to the American League and let him handle the defense? Please, come on, man.
Yeah.
You're going to see a different Tigers defense this year, and he's going to bring that experience he had at Ohio State underneath Ryan Day, and he's going to bring it over here, and it's going to be great for the Tigers.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listening to press conferences that he's done throughout the offseason, throughout fall camp, throughout spring for that matter, he holds this defense to a high standard. Look at the secondary this defense has got. I mean, it's absolutely – Quindell Johnson is an absolute beast. Then you go to the linebacker crew, a player that we're going to talk about a little bit more coming up. But, you've got Xavier Cullen's back. You've got the kid from Syracuse, Canton Antu is in there as well. He was Syracuse number 4 tackler last year.
Yeah.
The defensive line, Nathan, there's going to be 4 people on the line for Memphis next year on the defensive front. That's something that excites every fan that I've talked to.
Yeah. Well, you got to also remember Tyler Murray from the transfer from Charlotte. We're getting good. I mean, Memphis did Ryan Silverfield did an amazing job on just getting these transfers to come play at Memphis. I mean, we're and like you said, we'll talk more about the transfers that are coming. But and on the defense, on the DB side, you have make sure I'm saying Devin Ross.
Yep.
I mean, Eastern Kentucky. This guy right here was Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, this guy knows how to play. And the one thing that Memphis is going to be working on is them DBs.
Yeah.
It's going to be when you come up to Mississippi State, and I'll talk more about it when we talk about the game against Mississippi State. But everybody knows, and Wes, you can back me up on this, SEC is going to be – we run the ball in the SEC, okay? But I feel like the one thing that Memphis is going to be focused on in that game is going to be stopping the run. And you got to watch Mike Leach throwing the ball. And I think our DBs at Memphis, I think they're going to be able to put some pressure on these wide receivers. And I think our linebackers and our D line, as long as they put pressure on the Mississippi State's quarterback, whoever it might be, I'm not sure who the starter is going to be this year, but whoever it might be, put pressure on them. I mean, dude, this defense is going to be top notch.
Yeah, I mean, when you combine the talent of Quindell Johnson, who I think is a NFL player, I think, in my opinion, he's a first day draft pick, and that's a bold statement. But Quindell Johnson is first day draft pick talent at the safety position, and then you pair that with guys like Greg Rubin, local kid out of White Station High School. Then you come to the line. You got Wad Duckworth. You lose Maurice White. But you bring in Joshua White in the recruiting class. And let me talk about the recruiting class real quick, Dave. So in today's day and world of recruiting, the majority of the head coaches are going after 4- and 5-star players in the star system that is recruiting. Okay, Don't get me started on the star system. Maybe there's a little plug in the name 4-star for that. But anyway. So in recruiting today, a lot of what the coaches will consider the 3-star talent as a developmental talent. Okay. Well, what a lot of these coaches are doing, Nathan, is they're filling up with 4- and 5-star kids. And then when they get to that developmental talent, they'll now, instead of going after that 3-star, they're bringing in transfer portal. What Silverfield has done, if you go back and look at his recruiting class, back-to-back seasons, the highest-ranked recruiting class in school history. Back-to-back seasons. What Silverfield's doing is he's picking from the portal, but he's going and getting those 3-star kids that the Alabamas of the world, the Tennessees, the Arkansas, the whoever. He's going and getting those kids and saying, hey, come play here. You're going to play. You're going to get on the field. You're going to be on TV damn near every week. I mean, just – look at the schedule. Memphis is on TV damn near every week.
Yeah. I mean, I see the schedule right now. And
people complain and people bitch about ESPN Plus. I love it because I get to watch my team every week.
Right.
It's better than Comcast Sports Network TV, which we used to have. Zach's got something to say. Go ahead, Zach.
What's up, fellas? Hey, I wanted to. You're talking about the. You're talking about the transfer portal, and then you're talking about ESPN Plus and being able to see all your shows, your games, and everything. In this day and age of streaming, do you think that, back in the early 2000s and the late 90s, the TV markets were the big deals around Tuscaloosa, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Austin, Texas? With the inclusion now of ESPN Plus, do you think that opens up more eyes to more programs to help recruiting, especially for guys like the Memphis Tigers?
Yes, and I mean, and I'll let Nathan answer after I'm done. Yes, first and foremost, yes, it does. But let's look at the streaming services. Peacock is going to have college football on their live this year. Live events are starting to become more popular. Don't be surprised if you don't see Netflix hosting a WWE coming up soon. Netflix is going to start hosting live events.
You had to go there, didn't you?
Channels are understanding the importance of that live broadcast crowd. Look at the Big Ten. They just signed a $1 million deal with CBS. You don't think that's going to come with streaming as well? You don't think it'll be streamed as well? Yeah. Everything's got a streaming service now. I mean, crap. Playboy's probably got one. I don't know personally. I mean,
you really went that route.
Come on, you already know how I am. Don't even go there. I'm just saying.
Nate, he has gone off the rails, man.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know it does. Every time I host the show, it goes off the rails. Peacock streaming games live. Netflix is doing it. Everybody's going to end up doing it. Amazon Prime does it. Don't they do NFL games and stuff? I mean, or they are starting up. So, I mean, it's going to happen. You're going to see more and more and more of NBC and Peacock streaming football game. I'm excited for it, man. I love it. I welcome it. A lot of your older generation sports fans hate the NIL. They hate the transfer portal. They hate the streaming services. I get it. I understand that. Personally, I welcome it because I think it's another way to get more eyes on players, teams, and coaches that need it. Sorry, go ahead, Nathan. I said everything.
Look, but here's my big thing about the streaming services. All right,
Yeah.
get ESPN Plus. I'm a subscriber to it. I love it, and the reason I love it is because you look at when, Sunday morning or Saturday night college football, when they talk about all the games that happen Saturday night, you're watching these big plays that happen to games that wasn't even broadcasted on your TV. But you have a chance now to tune into all these great games and all these close ones. I mean, teams that hardly would ever get television time, you can now sit back and watch. Heck, last year, I won't lie, I watched freaking Harvard and Yale football game, dude.
At least I wasn't the only one that watched that game.
Yeah, you're not, buddy. But look, I loved it. I loved watching it. It was fun to watch, and you see the traditions that come with that rival, with the rival in that game itself. But you also get to tune into games like, and I'm going to say it, guys. Don't judge me for this. And Wes, you're going to both of y'all going to say something. You get to tune into somebody like, for instance, Vanderbilt gets television time now. So you get,
he's got a point. He's got a point, Wes.
Hey, they're on the SEC network twice a year. That's when they play Tennessee and Kentucky or something, or Bama. Generally, Bama's on every game every week. I mean,
we'll talk more about Bama on Thursday when they take that L against Arkansas.
Look, that's way down the road anyway. But
look, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. The whole streaming thing, when you get to watch Memphis football on TV, and you get to hear just the you don't have to hear this CBS network talking play-by-play. You actually get to feel like you're actually at the stadium, hearing it being called, listening to all the fans, seeing the atmosphere and at the Liberty Bowl. And anybody that has not attended a Tiger football game, I recommend it. Go to it. I'll be there. I'll be calling a few games and for the point. And I'll be also taking pictures of big plays happening and just the atmosphere, because I want people to see Memphis football. I mean, the fan base is just crazy. You talking about diehard fans? These are diehard fans, man. I'm talking about losing season. They don't care. They're out there tailgating their butts off for this team. They love the city of Memphis. They love this program. They love how Ryan Silverfield's doing his thing with Memphis. Dude, this is going to be great. And I want everybody to tune in. If you get a chance to watch Memphis, I don't care if it's on a streaming service. I don't care if you get to go to watch a live game or whatever.
Yeah.
Do it. And I promise you, it'll change your mind.
Oh, yeah. It'll completely change your perspective. And then, Nathan, speaking of the stadium, when you look at the renovations that are getting ready to happen to that stadium, now's the time. If you're going to jump on a bandwagon, and by the way, thank you to Daniel Ball watching. What's up, Daniel? We appreciate you watching, man. Like, subscribe, share. Also, while I got Daniel on here, let's throw these trivia questions out to Daniel. Man, I got 3 trivia questions for you guys watching tonight. First one is, when was the last time Memphis passed for over 150 yards in a quarter? 150 yards in a quarter. Number 2 is there it is. When was the last time Memphis had a
sorry about that technical glitch?
Yeah. 90 or more yards. I bet you Daniel knows that one pretty quickly. And then the last one is, when was the last time Memphis rushed for more than 150 yards in a half? He probably knows that one as well. But thank you very much for watching, Daniel. Like, subscribe, and share as well. Nathan, let's get to the offense of this Memphis Tigers football team. I know, man. It's here's the thing. I'm just going to come out and say it. We have to run the football better than we did last season. I understand we were hampered with injuries. I get all that. The offensive line has got to produce better for this football team to be more successful than they were last year. 6-6 on the season, as I talked about earlier, not the Memphis football standard at all. Should not be and won't be for Ryan Silverfield if he wants to keep his job, just to be brutally honest. If you're Silverfield and you go 6-6 this year, that seat's going to get hot pretty quick. But you bring in a new offensive coordinator, Tim Cramsey from Marshall. I tell you, Nathan, when you watch this guy on press conferences, man, he is like just chill, laid back, like hat all up, just does not look like a college football coach at all to me at all.
No.
Daniel, I can't answer that question until the end. You'll have to tune in until the end. But Nathan, when you look at this offense, Seth Hennigan, it starts and stops with Seth. Don't get me wrong, it's a crowded room. You've got Tevin Carter. We interviewed him here on The Point right after he committed to Memphis. But you've got talent in that room. I think Tevin Carter will see the field this year. I don't think Silverfield doesn't play him. You can play a kid up to 4 games without risking that red shirt now.
Yeah.
I think you'll see him. I think you'll see packages for him. It starts and stops with Seth Hennigan, over 3,000 yards last year passing. He is also on the Manning Watch Award list, the only true sophomore on that list. If you look around the country and you look at top young quarterbacks, I don't want to see a list without Seth Hennigan's name on it. If there's a list out there without that kid's name on it, I want to know, A, who voted, B, the legitimacy of the list, because it's BS to me if Seth's not on there.
Yeah.
What he's got is the it factor, Nathan.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'll give you Seth. I'm going to give a little Seth Hennigan some credit. This is his stats. All right. This is legit. I'm looking at it right now on my laptop. Over 3,000 yards passing, 25 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions, QB rating of 62.9. That right there is good, guys. I mean, this guy, he is talented. He does. I mean, I know things were a little crazy last year with all the close games. You know, we had the lead, then we lost the lead. You know, and all this kind of stuff. But I think this Tiger team, I think with him coming back underneath center, I think it's going to be different. He's going to be the field general out there. I think Ryan Silverfield's going to trust him, play calling wise and everything. So when he gets out here, you're going to see a more confident Seth Hennigan than last year. I think Seth's going to come out ready to play. You know, he had some shoes to fill, guys. We got to remember that. Brady White. I mean,
who is now on the staff? Let's not forget that. That's a very
exactly. But that is a big piece for Seth Hennigan to have, is that caliber of a quarterback, Brady White, sitting there helping you out, coaching you up. That right there is big in all in itself for Seth. So I see Seth dominating this year. I hope he comes out more confident, you know, this year. And, you know, you're going to see this man put up some stats. I mean, and I just want to say this, and I'm going to go a little off right here for you, Wes. We are talking about offense, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to say a name. You tell me what you think. Ready for this?
Go ahead.
Joseph Skates.
I'm excited about the young man from Iowa State, man.
I mean, 6'3"? Come on, dude. Guaranteed. If it's first and goal, if you're on the goal line, you're going to throw it in the end zone. There you go. He adds more depth to this wide receiver roster. Not to mention how tall, 6'3", wide out, and then you got the other Javin Ivory, Eddie Lewis, Gabriel Rogers. I mean, list goes on, guys. Seth Hennigan has his targets, and it just adds weapons to this offense.
And I mean, you know, the thing is, you lose Calvin Austin, you lose that go-to guy, you lose the majority of the production on your offense, on honesty. But it now gives Seth time, because let's not forget, Seth was thrown into this role, we think, week 1 with Grant Gunnell last year. But when you look at last season and Seth got in that crucial situation, he went to Calvin or he went to Sean. Now you lose that. I understand that. But this offseason gives him time to develop a relationship with the other players, with the other roster, the other receivers on the roster. I expect Javon Ivory to have a breakout here. I expect him to have a DeMonte Coxey type coming out year, a Anthony Miller type coming out year against some really good teams. I feel like you can very well see him in a Anthony Miller against UCLA back in the day, a few years back, type of game against Mississippi State. I think that Javon Ivory is going to really, really dominate this season. But when you look at the running back room, Brandon Thomas is back. I'm really excited to see what that young man can do. Through the first 2 games, he was leading the country in rushing. Then in that Temple game, he got banged up, got a concussion, and really wasn't the same. You lose oh, crap. Kid's name slips my mind now. The kid from Auburn, you lose him. But you bring in a young man by the name of Javon Ducker, a freaking freshman of the year last year in the MAC for Northern Illinois. Young man that can run. I've heard some people say he hasn't had a good spring. I'm not worried about that. The kid's talented. The kid's going to be on the field, period. Yeah. I don't care what anybody tells me. The kid's going to be on the field. The offensive line has got to produce this year for this running back room to really, really, really do well. Let's see. Daniel Ball coming in and said a full season with the stats last year. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm telling you. I completely agree. I have no anxiety with the direction of this program. I really don't. And when you look at it, Daniel, I made the comment about Silverfield's seat might get hot. If Seth has the season that I think Seth is going to have, that seat's going to be ice cold. The only reason that seat might get hot is other teams coaching. I'll just leave it at that. But honestly, I think Silverfield's very, very happy.
Hey, guys, I've got a question for you.
Sure, go ahead.
So we know that you guys got a couple of teams leaving the American Conference for the Big 12. Yeah. And I know conference expansion has been a very hot topic as of late, very several years. We talked about it extensively last year. You've got Texas and Oklahoma leaving for the SEC. Is this, if Memphis elevates their game this year like you guys think they are, will this propel them into maybe an ACC picking them up? Maybe geographically speaking, a SEC, maybe.
SEC will never pick them up. Never.
Hypothetically speaking, do you think that they're going to be picked up by a Power 5 conference?
He's like, okay, ass.
We don't want that raggedy ass Tiger team anyway.
Okay. Wait.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you want to start, or you want me to start? Okay.
No, go ahead. All
right. So, ACC, when you bringing the Tigers into ACC, basketball wise, I think it's a great fit. Competing against teams in basketball like North Carolina, Duke, Florida State, Syracuse, teams that. Syracuse not in the ACC, but when you compete in that program of the ACC, football wise, I think Tigers could bump the way into it. I mean, look at you got Cincinnati going to the Big 12. You got Houston went to the Big 12 too.
Yeah, you got Cincinnati, Houston, and Central Florida are all going.
Right. So. Why not have Memphis in the ACC, or why not have Memphis go to the Big 12? They might. Big 12 might reach out and try to get them.
Here's where I think Memphis's biggest issue is when. If you're going off of sports as far as athletic programs, like for basketball, they're a good fit for the ACC. For football, that's where everybody's breadwinner is going to be. Is where the football team's going to be. Okay. Where do they fit in to where they can be competitive? And who knows? in the next couple of years with Cincinnati going to the Big 12, Memphis might elevate their game and run the American. They could be the team to beat.
I mean, go ahead, Wes.
I think that's what you're going to see for right now. It would not shock me one bit. You talked about the crutch for the Memphis football program. It's the same thing that it's been for as long as I've been watching them. And I've been watching them since I guess I was 6, so 31 years now. The problem is everyone shows up for the Ole Miss game. Everyone shows up for the Mississippi State game. Everyone shows up for the UCLA game. Not a damn person shows up for UTSA when it's 9:01. Not a damn person shows up when it's homecoming and you're playing frickin' Central Florida. The students show up, nobody else shows up. That's the problem with Memphis. But the other issue is this, and they are getting better. I will give them this. When they're successful, and they have been recently, when they're successful, yes, Daniel's 100% right. And when you look at the Highland 100, they do an incredible job with their booster program. When you look at this Memphis football team, the fans have to become supportive for every game. Every game. Not just the ones that is going to be on 2:30 CBS or ABC. And I don't get it. I mean, this is also coming from somebody whose family hasn't missed a home, or my stepdad hasn't missed a home game since '85. So it's just enthralled in me to be there every week. Be there 5 hours early for a kickoff. Daniel's exactly right. A smaller campus stadium would curb a ton of the attendance issues. He's 100% right. I think this renovation is going to help a little bit with that because you drop a little bit of your capacity. And I think it's going to get a little bit of rejuvenation to the city. I hope it does anyway. I'm really excited about the future of this Memphis football program. I like Silverfield. I wrote about it last year. If you don't believe in this guy for the Mississippi State game last year, are you going to believe in him? Of course, they finished 6-6. So, I mean, personally, I'm not eating any crow. I still believe it. But when you look at Memphis going to another conference, I think Memphis could compete in the ACC right now. Not saying for a conference championship. Not what I'm saying. Not what I'm saying for a conference championship. But I will say this. I think the Memphis team that I think they could be or can be this season could step on the field right now and compete with Duke. We could compete with Florida State. We could compete with Florida, with Miami right now. I know it's a bold statement. I think we compete with Miami right now.
I think that they can compete with Virginia. I think you
can
compete
most
with Virginia Tech.
Pittsburgh, yeah, hell yeah. Every single one of them. How many? I mean, let's be honest. When you look around the world of college football and you look at all these other conferences, how many teams really can compete with Alabama? How many teams can really compete with the Ohio States and the Michigans of the world? Daniel, I completely agree with that comment. And that's why I say I think it's going to bring more fans out. Go ahead, Nathan.
But see, the thing is, I get it, being in the American League, and a lot of these teams switched over to the Big 12, and a lot of these teams are switching over to the SEC, and they're thinking, all right, now we can help our recruiting. Same thing's going to happen to Memphis. Memphis leaves the conference. It's just going to expand the recruiting for the Tigers. You just got to see the talent that Memphis brings in. Yeah, these guys might be 3-star. These guys might be a 2-star, 4-star. That's why the whole star thing doesn't really matter.
Bingo.
And I'm gonna say this from my one of my big heroes, and I already know Zach's gonna say something, but Nick Saban. Nick Saban. It don't matter. But he's right what he said. It don't matter.
You talking about the GOAT?
I'm talking about the GOAT. I'm talking about the GOAT because here's what he said: you could be a 5-star recruit, and you could get beat out by a 3-star. It's not about what your star is; it's about how you play on the field, how you put yourself on the field, and how much you give into this team and the program itself. And I think that's going to be a big thing for these Tigers is Ryan Silverfield's telling them it doesn't matter if you're a 4-star, 3-star. Don't worry about none of that. Come out, show them that you're not this.
Just play. Just play
come out and play. Show them why we are wanting to have you on this Tiger football team, and show why all these others are missing out.
You're exactly right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, talk a little Tiger trivia, and then talk a little bit about next week and how important the game really is. Right here on the 4-Star Sports Radio Network.
Hey fans, did you know that 4-Star Sports Media now has a YouTube channel? You can catch exclusive content covering all things Memphis Tigers and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Shows like The Point, and the only show on social media about the Arkansas Razorbacks that is purely fan-driven inside the Hog Pen. Plus other shows like The Hog Trough, The 4-Star Sports Show, and many more coming soon. So check them out today. Go on YouTube.com and search 4-Star Sports Media. Welcome back to the Germantown Village Wine and Liquor Studios for The Point with Wes Pruitt.
Welcome back to The Point. We're wrapping up. I guess you'd say wrapping up. Got about another 10, 15 minutes left. Nathan, man, it's been a really good show so far, man. We've talked a little bit of Tiger football tonight. We are just about a week away from the Tigers traveling down to Starkville, Mississippi to take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Hey, you know why Mississippi State didn't play night games for a long time, right?
Why's that?
Tractors didn't have strong enough headlights. Anyway.
That's the best you can come up with?
Look, man, I got another one, but I can't tell it on air, okay? Has to do with cows and kilts. But I'll leave that alone.
But I'm face palming you here in the booth right now.
Yeah, it has to do with cows and kilts. I'll leave that one alone. But so at the beginning of the show, we asked 3 Tiger trivia questions. They were trivia question number 1. Nathan, go ahead and read it, man.
When was the last time the Tigers had 150 yards plus yards passing in just one quarter?
Just one quarter. Nathan, do you know the answer to that question, buddy?
When's the last time? I'm going to say, do I have to pick the team that it was probably against?
Do what? What?
Do I need to say the team that it was against last year?
Was it last year? Is that? Are you thinking it was?
I'm going to go with Mississippi State last year.
Wrong. Same season, different game. Home game, though. Home game. It was against SMU last year with Seth Hennigan threw for 166 yards in the second quarter. When Memphis went on to beat their then number 23 ranked SMU Mustangs 28-25 in one of the most beautiful trick plays I have ever seen called in my life. I won't describe the play. I'll spare everyone of that. All right, trivia question number 2. When was the last time Memphis had a punt return of 90-plus yards? Daniel Ball earlier had said Tony Pollard. Nathan, what about you, man?
I might have to back him up on that. I'm going to say Tony Pollard.
Okay, I'm going to give y'all an that's a double no. That's a double no.
Man.
2 ants equals double no. No, it was last year, Mississippi State. Calvin Austin returned that punt for 94 yards.
Oh, God.
94 yards last year in the Mississippi State victory.
Yeah.
Still say it's one of the most exciting Memphis plays in Memphis Tiger football. Trivia question number 3. When did Memphis rush for 150 more yards or more in one half? Nathan, do you know this?
I'm going to have to pass on this one.
You're going to have to pass on that one. It was also last season.
Okay, well,
if it was last season.
Okay,
huh?
Last season. Hold on. Last season. I'm not Googling, so I don't think I'm Googling.
4-star was at the game, if that helps you.
Well, I also have my wife here, who is also a Memphis alum, saying disappointing to me. It's kind of messed up.
Second game of the year. I'll keep on giving hints. Second game of the year.
Second game of the year.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and say
it was a shootout. It was an absolute shootout.
It was a shootout?
Yep. Not very far from Memphis, about 68 miles from Memphis.
She's over here saying so I can't even read the lips.
It was Arkansas State and Brandon Thomas. Brandon Thomas rushed for
I was about to say Brandon Thomas, but she's over here freaking saying
Brandon Thomas rushed for 166 yards in the first half last season, en route to a Memphis win 55-50 in Jonesboro over a team that finished 2-10, I believe, last year, 1-11, something like that. But I do think that they could be better this year for what it's worth. Butch Jones did a hell of a job recruiting at Arkansas State. Hey, if you can talk somebody into coming to Jonesboro, Arkansas, you can talk somebody into it.
I have a trivia question for both of you.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so there are 4 teams that Memphis has the most rushing touchdowns against. Tied for first at 7. Give me 2 of those 4 teams.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Wes over here smiling. All right. Are you going to tell me if I got it?
I'll tell you.
I'm going to go with UCF. Yeah. Oh, I can keep guessing, or is Wes going to put in?
Oh, no. Get your guesses out of the way, and then I'll take a shot.
He's going to list the entire American Conference. Do that. Come on.
I'll say Tulsa.
Nope.
All right, so no Tulsa, no Central Florida. SMU.
Correct. They are tied. They are number 1 right now. Can you name the year for a bonus point?
Ooh.
Wes is about. Wes is a little pain, and his head's gonna pop.
No. I'm trying to think. Oh, it was last year. No.
2020.
No. That was the game day year, so that would have been 2019, 2020. Is that right?
You scored 7 rushing touchdowns against SMU in 2017.
Was it 2017? Okay, wow.
2017.
Is UAB or Southern Miss on that list by chance?
No, Southern Miss is not on that list. Now, you did say
what about Houston?
So Houston is on the list, but they're tied for 5th at 6.
See, I'm just trying to think of teams that Memphis has played a lot.
So you guys give up?
I don't want to, but go ahead.
I don't either.
So you've got SMU, Austin Peay, North Texas State, and the Citadel. So SMU was in 2017. Austin Peay was in 2014. North Texas State at 1971, and the Citadel in 1962.
Yeah, if I remember the history books right, like Memphis beat the crap out of the Citadel back then. Like bad.
Daniel Ball got it, but he got the year wrong.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, Daniel knows his Tiger stuff. He was on the point with us last week or 2 weeks ago. The guy knows his stuff. You also got to go over there and follow his show too, guys. In Off the Bench, they just talked to Seth Hennigan like a month ago or something. Those guys do an incredible job, man. In Off the Bench is good stuff. They follow Tiger sports everywhere. Jim Cross was just at the Tigers Ole Miss soccer game the other night, sporting Memphis gear, supporting the Tigers. So, thank you, Daniel Ball, for watching, man. You guys are awesome up there. But, yeah, we will be doing Tiger trivia every single week. I will get the questions out for you guys a little earlier next week. That way maybe you can guess a little more. I'm sure people will use Google. I understand that. I get that. But
I'll
I'm
have
trying
a
to find
trivia question as well.
I'm trying to find. Yeah. Zach's going to throw in a surprise trivia as well. I really like that. It's very cool. Also, starting the week after the Mississippi State win, we will be. Y'all noticed I did that. We will be doing the Heritage Defensive Player of the Week, Offensive Player of the Week on this show as well. We will also be doing it on the point, but we'll be doing it on this show as well to make sure we kind of keep that theme, hopefully through all the shows every single week. That'll be a lot of fun. But next week, man, Mississippi State, as I said at the beginning of the show, Nathan, the Tigers are trying to win the third time down there in 32 years. Last time was in 1993. Nathan, we were pretty young in 1993, buddy.
Yeah, we were.
We were. I think I was at that game, actually, now that I really sit back and think about it. I may have been. I don't know. I'm sure I can ask my stepdad. He would tell me.
So are you ready to talk about this game, Wes? Because I just feel like you were just ready to talk about it.
Man, we're kind of.
Are we going to go ahead and put picks in? Are we going to do our picks and preview?
Guys, you've got about 8 minutes if you really want to talk about this game.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, but see, here's the thing, Nathan. Really, I think what we'll do is we'll just tease it a little bit tonight, and I think we'll just dive all the way into it next week, because next week we've still got time to talk about the game.
Okay. Well,
but what I will say is this. I think that based on what I've seen from Mississippi State throughout the season last year, based on what I've seen from Memphis throughout the season last year, the critics will say, Mississippi State's a 2-point touchdown favorite. I get that. Based on the season they had, the season we had, I understand. I don't think in my head that Memphis is two touchdowns not as good as Mississippi State. There's no way Mississippi State's 2 touchdowns better. But I will say this. If we do not – key to the game, if we do not control Will Rogers, we've got to get pressure on him. If we do not get pressure on him, he will pick you apart as we've seen.
Okay. Now, you ready for mine?
Go ahead.
Do you see Mike Leach, who is an air-rated coach? He's going to come out. He's going to throw the ball. Do you think that he will actually use the running attack on this Memphis football team, or do you think he's just going to come out and do what he always does and just tell Will Rogers, throw the ball or run it yourself? Let's hold back from running the football, because to him that's not his way of doing things. Yeah. But I think Ron Sinfield's going to come in with this game plan, as in he's going to be expecting the run.
Well, you have to. Mike Leach is going to keep you honest. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to throw the ball every time. He'll throw the ball a lot. He'll throw the ball 60 times in a game. But I just honestly think you've got to stop. You've got to stop the pass, control the run, in my opinion. Because I don't think Mississippi State has any running back on that roster that's going to just run us off the field. Okay. I do think that Will Rogers is a talented enough quarterback to throw us off the field. Now,
here's the one big thing.
I understand that's not cool to do, but I'm just being honest.
Okay, but here's the big thing: is you are playing in Starkville.
Yes.
Okay. The one thing everybody counts on when you play in Starkville is that you're going to hear me out on this. The freaking cowbells.
Oh God, yes. Oh
So
God.
you got to prepare your guys for the noise. And anybody that's been to a Mississippi State football game, they know what I'm fixing to say. It's loud, especially when you got cowbells ringing in that stadium.
Guys, is this game in Starkville?
Yes. And it's also a 6:30 kickoff. And another thing I will say this. I think that's going to be a litmus test for me personally to see exactly where Seth Hennigan is. Because that's a hostile environment to walk into. And then you're playing at 6 o'clock, 6:30 at night. We all know.
Nighttime in Star Vegas? Come on, man.
You let Mississippi State get a 6 o'clock kickoff, them folks are out there at freaking 2 o'clock in the morning with griddles making breakfast and getting drunk as hell on damn, what the hell them things, Bloody Marys. They're getting hammered. And then by the time they get to the
Bloody
stadium,
Marys, man.
they've sobered up and gotten drunk again, and now they're in the game. I'm telling you, dude, I've been there and seen it.
I read somewhere where if Will Rogers throws for over 400 yards, Mississippi State wins it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The fact.
I'll give him that.
That's a fact. He does.
But guys, one of the keys.
I'll say this. Well, hold on, Zach. And I'll say this as well. Not just him throwing, but he's a mobile quarterback.
Mm-hmm. He is a dual threat quarterback.
You've got to make sure that you keep him inside that pocket. If you let him escape that pocket, be ready for a first down, if not more.
That brings me to one of my
when he does that.
Yeah, and that brings me to one of my points of the game that Wes, I think you should make this one of your keys to victory next week. Is how is this Memphis defense going to contain Will Rogers? Are you going to put somebody else in the box, or are you going to contain him on the edge? I mean, you're going to have to put a spy on him at some point.
Well, I mean, we did change our defensive scheme. Now, last season we were running a 3-4 scheme, which personally, I mean, I understand that against the air raid offense. You want to have more guys. Now we're going to be back to a 4-man line. I mean, I think as talented as our safeties are, you can creep up guys like Quindell Johnson, Greg Rubin coming off the corner. You've got the kid from Michigan State. Name slips my mind. On the other end, on the other side, Julian Barnett from Michigan State at the other corner position. This Memphis defense under Matt Barnes, I think is going to be much more aggressive. I think you're going to see much more, as they use the term, exotic blitzes. I think you'll see this Memphis defense. Fans may laugh at me when I say this. I think it's going to be more Joe Lee Dunn style, where you're going to get some guys coming on some delay blitzes and different stunts. I think you're going to see a lot more aggressiveness out of this Memphis defense. Week 1, I don't think you're going to have to wait. I think week 1, they understand the importance of this game, especially with the schedule that lines up for Memphis. If you can walk into Starkville, Mississippi, get a win week 1 on national TV at night, primetime game per se, that bodes well for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I really do think it does. I really do. But next week it is, man. Next week we're going to dive into Mississippi State. We're going to dive into what it's going to take for this defense to shut down Will Rogers and not just necessarily contain him. And then we're going to find out who is Mississippi State, who are they, and why is Starkville such a difficult place to play. We're going to have Tiger trivia next week. Nathan hopefully will be back on with us next week as well to dive into week 1 of Tiger football season. Also, guys, don't forget, new article series, Tunnel Vision, all about the Memphis Tiger football scene in the 2022 season, will premiere next week at 4star.live. But, Nathan, man, it's been a great, great show tonight. I am excited about Tiger football. I know you and your household is as well. Memphis Tiger fans, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you guys. During the next week, I want messages. I want comments. I want whatever you guys want to send me. I want to know what you're looking forward to for Memphis football season for the 2022 season. And I would also like, we posted it last week. I did a schedule graphic. I want everybody to go back to that graphic and give me your Tiger prediction for 2022 season. For Wes Pruitt, Nathan Wilson, guys who've been watching and listening to the point. Oh, go ahead, Nathan. Go ahead.
Wait. let's also add this. We are back with college football.
Oh,
Thursday. Yeah. Tune in, folks. We're going to go deep into SEC, Big 10, Big 12. Give me the ACC. Give me Hogs. Give me Arkansas Razorback talk from my boy Zach, from my boy Wes, from Christian. Give me MC as well. But also, you know what that also means, guys?
We're back.
We're back. I can't wait. It's going to be great. Y'all tune in for Thursday night when we talk all these sports, especially college football coming up. Guys, countdown's on now. We've been waiting for a long time for this, and we're right here.
Look, I don't know about y'all, but I got chills on my arm, y'all.
Few short days away, and you're exactly right, Evan. Tune in Thursday night. Week 0 is upon us. We're going to talk Florida State to Coon. We're going to have a Heritage on the fence game. Don't know who we might pick. It's on the fence. But we'll find out what that game is as well. Thursday night, 7 p.m. right here on 4-Star Sports Media. Come check us out. But once again, for Nathan Wilson, I am Wes Pruitt. You have been watching The Point, where we cover all things Memphis all the time.
Barbecue and soul food. We got rules though. When you come through, don't fool with us. We done told